At Basil Reed, we believe in building legacies. And with 6 decades of experience in construction, we know that you can't build anything without a strong foundation. That's why we have decided to focus our CSI efforts on education, specifically primary education. Because schools are at the center of community life, giving the next generation a solid footing for the road ahead. To realize our primary CSI objective of contributing towards the eradication of mud schools in South Africa, we've committed to building 1 primary school a year in a rural area. In this way, we are confident that we can make a real difference, both for the children and the communities in which they live. Our schools project is not only emotionally fulfilling, it is also an opportunity for us to pioneer innovative designs and sustainable building techniques with an eye on rolling them out on other projects. And we always engage with the local community, empowering as many local contractors and workers as possible. The results are tremendously rewarding. But don't take our word for it. Come now and take a trip with us to our first completed project, Nondabuye Primary School near Jozini in northern KwaZulu-Natal. It's a beautiful place, filled with beautiful people, now with a school to match.
There are so many challenges to be in a rural school because we don't have water, electricity, the parents are illiterate, they cannot support the learners. Even if you give the homeworks, no one will help at home. The old school that we were using was meant for a church, not for classes. They don't even have windows because they were old structures that were built in 1983. We were also afraid that sometimes these walls will fall over the kids. In most cases, our learners were learning under the trees because of the shortages of classes. When it is raining, we are forced that we need to combine the kids together, and it was impossible to teach them in one class. With the help of the Department of Education, people from infrastructure, when they were visiting schools, when they reach our school that is poor like that, they indicated to us that they will seek help. Then they started communicating with Basil Reed, whereby they get help to build at these classes.
For decades, there was no school here. Children were traveling long distances on foot without transport. So this school, to me as a circuit manager and also to the principal, to the SGB, to the parents and the community at large, it's a wonderful gift.
The primary objectives of the Basil Reed CSI program is to improve people's lives and make an impact where we are, wherever we have a project or where there's an opportunity for us to make a difference.
As a construction company, we deal a lot with people. And what we would like to do is to put our efforts back into people. It's the old biblical principles of we don't want to give you a fish, but we would like to teach you how to fish.
Working with Basil Reed has given me a very good experience because it is the first time ever that we've built a school of this nature. It's a special design for us.
For a school like Nondabuye Primary, to have such wonderful facilities is a dream come true, because for the teachers, it's easy now to deliver the service in the classrooms, because even when it is raining, they are no longer disturbed by the rain. Even if there is a wind, there is a sun. Now is the thing of the past, because they've got a strong shelter, quality shelter above their heads.
When we first started on the school, our brief included 7 to 8 different classrooms. You're separated by opening and closing partitions. The rooms had to be fairly low maintenance and pretty self-sustainable as well.
If you look at the roof designs and the veranda designs, it's completely different from all other schools that we have done.
We're having no electricity. They donated with the solar panels. We can run the school. We can make some copies with our machine using the very same electricity they provided. As we are living in a rural area, there is no water at all. Basil Reed also donated with the water tanks. So this water, we are using it for drinking, cooking the meals for the kids, and also watering the garden. We have planted some vegetables. Our future plans is that we plant a lot of vegetables. Some of them we sell to the community members. Some of them we identify learners who are having challenges at homes. When we do have more than that, we can even invite shops around the town to come and buy from us and make the profit. Sometimes there were those people who thought this thing is not going anywhere. But once they see these buildings, they start now taking their kids to the school. They can see that we are not playing, but we do have a destination where we are going to. Because other people that did not want to bring their kids, and knowing that they would be writing on their needs, no classes, it means this is not a quality education they are going to receive. So once we have this building, even when you drive over the road, you can even now show this is Nondabuya Primary School because of the building. So the building marketed the school so much.
Education in South Africa is a societal issue. Therefore, all stakeholders must play a meaningful role in terms of contributing to education. So children are very, very happy and everybody is happy.
Now educators have got ample time to deal with the problems, solving problems to each and every individual, because now we are separated. Each and every person is having a responsibility of his or her class. Our learners are very proud of their school. They've built the confidence. They've learned to take responsibilities. Even if those who left for high school, they always visit. As they are writing, they come back, do some motivations, which shows that they still remember that this is the best school who made us.
With the better facilities that they have now, they're able to compete and actually be scouted by other schools for high school level. So that to us gives us a lot of pride in having contributed to something progressive.
Coming to work in the new school buildings is very exciting for us, the educators, and for the learners as well, because now the teaching and learning is going very much smooth than before. Now they have that feeling of being in the school buildings. They are very much willing to learn, and they are doing it very well.
We believe if you can start with a good education from a very young age, you will change people's minds, you will change how they think about their lives and what they want to achieve in life.
Without education, in fact, we have got a lost key, because you don't know how are you going to open doors for opportunities.
It is critically important that all children attend school, including adult education. Without education, no bright future.
We want to plant a seed whilst the children are at the youngest age and provide the most basic of facilities and infrastructure so that the children can have a better future and the country can have better leaders.
By networking with all the stakeholders around here, now our school became the center of each and every community member to come and seek assistance in the school.
Okwenzekile emphakathini, umphakathi ujabule kakhulu ngokuthi izingane zabo zifundele eduze, ziyakwazi ukukhuluma English even kusukela ku-grade R up to grade 7. Isimo sihamba kahle kakhulu, abazali bajabula kahle kakhulu.
In our community, you see, I'm born here, my children go so near, there's no waste of money to take the bus, go so far, and the most of the teacher that's working here, the teacher we know around here, so it's easy to communicate with them.
Indlela ongazoyibona kakhulu njena thina njengomphakathi njengabantu abadala sesinalo ithemba ukuthi ngeke sibashiye abazulu bethu belihleli obala kodwa sobashiya ophahlweni ngabo.
Akaze sibe khona isikole sinjengala emphakathini. Bathokoze kakhulu umphakathi. Ngoba nje kunabafundayo ngesikhathi seshayela isikole khona abafundayo ngoba bakhusha ikhombisa ukuthokozela lo.
Sakhela isikole, yaphuma ingane.
Futhi ubhezeni impela kuba kuyashadwa naye ngangithatha yena kube ngithatha umfazi omunye ngoba.
In most cases, it's for us quite easy to interact with the community because there's always a hunger and a need from the community to have jobs. And construction specifically is one of the quickest ways of job creation.
They managed to learn something, and some of them left here as semi-skilled. We're talking about plus or minus 40 in total that ended up benefiting here.
And the whole idea behind that is that when we do leave that area, that they can actually sustain themselves by starting to tender for work in that community amongst themselves, and to be recognized that they've gained the experience and can now apply that in the community.
We need to leave a legacy here. Legacy should not only be the building, but there must be local people that should earn something from the project. I think we have achieved that.
Amawindi besivala ngezinto zezingqawo amakhaza azingenele. Kwakunzima vele ngoba sasingakhoni ukuthi sifunde kahle, inkinga ukuthi sasithi masifunda sizinto enyakazayo.
Our education was not going smooth, but now when we are in our new school, our education is going smooth.
We have got computers, libraries, and the garden. We are no longer combined, and the learners are learning very smoothly. Toilet was released and it's beautiful. It's isikole esisha.
Sikahle ngiyasithanda futhi.
Thanda ukuthi sihle.
Kumnandi manje klasi mahle yonke into ikhona.
We do have one vision that we want to have a different chart from other schools, which will be confident and take himself or herself forward, not falling back as other kids are doing. When they leave here to high school, they have got all the background they might need to equip themselves in their journey for learning.
We've actually started discussing with other provinces like the Eastern Cape province, where we started designing and also drawing the lessons from Nondabuya school in Jozini to taking the green designs and the alternative designs forward with more improvements on the designs in other areas.
It's a really exciting project for us because there are a lot of features that aren't really in the current sort of typical way of building a school. It's rapidly deliverable, you can deploy it very quickly. It's pretty much a complete passive solution, you don't need air conditioning. It's vandal proof, the materials we've used are very difficult to destroy. It's easy for relatively unskilled labour to put up, not to mention the green stuff being off the grid. It's very different to what's out there, and if it was adopted, we think it could be used throughout Africa and the world and be very successful.
For me personally, it is very self-fulfilling to see what we have been able to achieve, and to be able to link that with such a company like Basil Reed that has been around for 60 years. It's even so more rewarding when you can see the changes we can achieve in people's lives in such a short time.
Step by step, I will follow presently. Step by step, I will follow presently.
Clearly, the Mondabuya project has been a huge success, and with the help of our partners at the Department of Education, we're already looking forward to our next initiative in the Eastern Cape. By committing to education, Basil Reid is working to change the landscape of South Africa, one community at a time.
Step by step, I will follow presently. I salute you. Thank you. Thank you a million times. We are free at last. Thank you.
Basil Reid, building legacies.